It's pretty intense, isn't it? Or is it all right? Impeding. Yeah. Okay, so interestingly enough, folks, this is the only BBMF, I think only BBMF Spitfire. Oh no, there is another Spit over there. In fact, just stand by one. That's a Hurricane. He's being loaded up. There is another Spit there. I don't know if that's just on display today. P51 Mustang. Look at that, just sitting there, suited and booted with a Merlin engine. Okay folks, get ready to hold on to your hats for this one. Listen out for this beautiful Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. This is heritage right here. The engine that won the war. Well, actually, the combination of engine and airframe, of course. This strong headwind, this will go up pretty damn quick. You see that tail wheel lift almost immediately. Oh, and the Typhoon display jet engines are now starting as well. Okay, I've got to have my wits about me today. Sitting on an A380 watching it via Wi-Fi. The Emirates are, oh yes, 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 of course, yes, yes. So obviously with the wind being the way it is today, folks, it's a direct westerly, I think, straight down the middle of the runway. Now the Lancaster, we're lucky that they are not crosswinds, because the Lancaster will not fly. I think he might have just been doing a mag check run up there. It's got Kiwi markings on it. I wonder if this is anything to do with the RNZAF. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Afternoon, folks. Hope you're doing well. A little bit late today for a Saturday. Yeah. Look at that big prop, man. Look at those big props. Of course, the early models had wooden props. Of course, making it far easy for the mechanics to save the engines, because in the case of a wheels up landing where the undercarriage fails to extend, when the prop hits the ground, it will splinter and save the engine, the crank shaft and all that, all the internals of the engine from twisting and basically wrecking the engine. That was the case with the early wooden models, but of course the later variants using alloy. It's the only what, sorry? Wow, that wind's really picked up. Oh, okay. The only, Harry Walker saying it's the only Battle of Britain Spitfire left flew by a New Zealander. That's what, okay, flown by a New Zealander. We've got, have we got that pilot's details? I'm sure it will probably be pretty easy to grab hold of that, I would have thought. Very blustery day here, folks. We're lucky with the fact that we don't have any rain, because that would have literally written it all off. In fact, yesterday's proceedings here at RAF Coningsby for the oh, okay, is this what he's waiting for? Okay, we were hoping to see Blackjack going up, but we'll take any Typhoon. This one from 29 Squadron. Al Deer. Okay, okay, thank you. So Al Deer was the pilot who flew that Spitfire in the Battle of Britain, man. Okay, next thing I want to know is how many kills did he get? And I'm guessing he survived. So that Spitfire's waiting for this. This is going to be a very interesting display, folks, because obviously this Typhoon has to really pull back on the power in order to stay level with the Spitfire, whilst the Spitfire is, you know, they got to strain every last horsepower they can out of it. These guys at the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, they are very well supported by their members, it has to be said, and making contributions to them in order that they can keep these amazing aircraft in the air. Oh, he crashed 3 times, did he? On the ceiling if you want me. Sorry. Tell you what is a great looking aeroplane is the markings on the whether they take off together or whether they take off separately, I don't know, but that Hurricane in the black markings there is a beautiful looking aeroplane, isn't it? I think they got the full regalia out today. We were hearing, I'm not sure if that is a BBMF Spit, there's actually 3 there, I think. Is it? No, it's just 2. But I think that I did hear that the Rolls-Royce Spitfire was going to be here from East Midlands today. Not sure about that. The Hurricane is very ready to go. You can definitely see now the nice slow. Listen to this, folks. Same again. There's our jet fighter. So our Spit. We'll probably do a circuit of the local area, and then the Foon will go out and join up with the Spitfire, and I think they carry out a joint display at slow speed, obviously. And then we'll peel off to carry out their own display. Hopefully that's the case. Obviously, the issue with weather always can change things quite dramatically with plans. But here we go. There is the Spitfire. Typhoon now. Meeting up with the Spitfire. Stalling it. That's crazy, mate. Okay, I gotta keep it. Oh, the Lank's firing up, mate. They're taking the Lank out. She's coming out. Right, don't worry, folks. I'm keeping a visual on the duo. Must have gone out over Boston or something like that. I believe that the Lancaster will taxi out to somewhere around about here and do a mag check. One is hoping that that will be right in front of us. Interestingly enough, 55,000 very brave young men lost in the conflict with Bomber Command, and it's 55,000 pieces that go to make up a Lancaster bomber. Interesting. And the well observant amongst you, well, you're going to know this because I'm just about to tell you, but and this is something that I found out from a couple of chaps that I met here last night, Dave and Darren. There's always got to be a Dave there, isn't there? Good afternoon to you fellas, and good afternoon to Papa Bear as well, who's over the other side, who and Steve, of course, who's behind me, the caterer, the man with the burger van. Lovely chap. And yes, the rear wheel assembly of the hello. It's always good when you see people pointing. That's what you need, people pointing.
Yeah. Coming down to 5 example.
Because otherwise find myself in a bit of a tangle. No worries, you haven't missed anything. Spitfire, the Typhoon is compared to the Spitfire. That is insane. think this is a display. She ain't. Nice. I've enjoyed that, folks. It's difficult to keep up with it, especially in the sun, man. P-51 pilot readying his machine. It's going to be good. Big paddle blades on her. The old rook's trying to get in on the scene, and all the rooks are like, I'll show you how to fly, son. We've been doing it for 40 million years, or haven't we? I can do that, says the rook. Okay, there we go, folks. Not the display Typhoon. The display Typhoon is actually tucked up over the other side of the hangar at the moment. You can see all the folks gathering. 700, I think, 700 tickets, all sold out. You can just about see Blackjack's tail sitting over there on display. I think she may have had a technical issue, which has now obviously been dealt with. But and also something that's quite interesting is that the nose on these aircraft. If you remember last time we were here and Blackjack came out and she had an all grey nose. This guy's gonna, I think, which way is he gonna come past us here? Possibly go the other way, turn left at the end of the runway and make his way over to his normal base, I think. Oh no, he's coming over here, I think. He's coming over here. Oh, here we go. Brilliant, brilliant. Of course, the Blackjack has the same markings with the triple X. So display pilot right there. There you go, folks. If you want to join us at RAF Coningsby, both during the summer and the winter time, it really doesn't matter. We're live periodically here from RAF Coningsby, where these guys and girls exercise, run regular exercises. They are on night exercises, week on, week off, I think it is. Yeah, very exciting shows. You may want to come and join us the next time we're here at RAF Coningsby for the Typhoon exercises. And from time to time in the summer, we get the odd display every now and then, firing up big Merlin engine on that Mustang. Oh, okay. Stand clear. Tea's gone cold. Now this is going to be a very, very exciting display, folks. I'm seeing a Hurricane at the other end of the runway. He must have snuck out. It's definitely a Hurricane down there. Look at the colours and markings on that beautiful aeroplane. The Mustang, of course, was the saviour for the US Air Force back in the Second World War, when they eventually could escort them deep into Germany. Don't like to talk about bombing and all that kind of nasty stuff, but just in terms of the technical ability of the aircraft, carrying drop tanks and able to escort their comrades all the way into deep Germany. Yeah, that's definitely is that a Hurricane? Hard to see. Oh, hello. Look at this. D-Day markings. It's a beautiful aircraft. Oh, it was. It came from East Midlands, did it? Not from Northolt. Okay, thank you. Look at the size of that thing, man. The engine is just. I think this is the double twin supercharged Merlin engine. Of course, the very early variants of the Mustang didn't have a Merlin engine in it. It was only later on that the Merlin engine was introduced. Okay, here we go then. Mustang to the Hurricane to the right, Lancaster bomber to the left. I need to keep an eye out for these aircraft. I think the Mustang's possibly going to go out and do a solo display. Now you see the gun barrel inlets there. When you see her, when you hear her diving, listen to that. Yeah, I was saying earlier on, folks, about the Lancaster bomber. In order to, she did. Right, let's just. Yeah, that's a very slow climb. Mustang doing his mag checks. Lancaster on the move. Now listen to this. I think one engine's good enough. Go low. Leave it low. Hurricane meeting up with the Lancaster now. Sometimes this is quite appropriate because sometimes fighters would be called out from southern stations to go and escort lame Lancasters or bombers back over the channel. And that is a very familiar sight for many elderly folk. Used to count them in, literally. A lot of people who lived around the bases would count them out and count them in. And this particular base right where we are now is one particular base where 617 Squadron were based along with others, and all these parking areas that you're seeing here, if you look on Google Earth, folks, and that was the landmark that these pilots would look out for. Of course, Lincoln Cathedral, of course, as well, depending on which direction they were coming in from. But all these dispersals that you see, there's a lot of people here, folks. All these dispersals here that you see, still here and still owned by the Ministry of Defence. Dispersals where you would have seen Lancaster bombers parked up, and yes, as I was saying earlier about the Lancaster bomber, I'll quickly spit it out before I forget it again. The BBMF Lancaster bomber went through quite an extensive overhaul down at Northolt, wasn't it? Was it? No, not Northolt. No, it wasn't Northolt. It was. Anyway, during her last significant technical checks and so on and so forth, the rear single trailing undercarriage, I guess you would call it, had to be replaced, and rather than fabricate a completely new one, which they would have had to have done, they actually have used, I believe, a section of an undercarriage from an Airbus A319, I believe. Not the whole complete unit, but the part of the upper oleo and the suspension arm, I think, as well. It's quite clearly visible. Something I'd like to have shown you as she was taxiing out, but unfortunately, I think when she lands, I'm hoping that she'll run out full length and go past the past our position here, like the Typhoon did. But we'll have to see. Just have to see. So the Mustang has gone. Let's just have a little look out, because as is always the case, listen to that, you can just hear it. Now, folks, by the way, I have got the mic in a static position. I haven't got it on the camera, because if I put it on the camera, you would probably notice a significant amount of wind interference. So that's why I've done what I've done to try and minimise the amount of wind. The mic is sitting right behind the camera head at the moment, or the tripod head. So I hope it's working for you. Everything okay, GP? Of course, I've got so much going on, I can't read the comments. I apologise. It's not your average sort of like people. Maybe a few people wondering why we're doing in brackets air display, or which it's not a sort of like an official attended air display where you get thousands of people. This is why we're doing this one. It's more for the members of the BBMF, and of course all the fans of the historic stuff. Okay, looks like the Hurricane and the Lancaster are going to hang about. Okay, sound is fantastic. That's good. Thank you, folks. Okay, P51 Mustang in for its first run. The D-Day markings, I think. Really, that's good. Now listen to this thing dive. It's the gun barrels, air rushing through the gun barrels. Beautiful. What a display. I don't know if that's the Packard engine, because the Packard, you could always tell the two huge bulges either side where the cylinder heads were so, the engine was just literally so big that they had to put the engines. You'd see the engine cowlings or coverings would have a big bulge either side where the. Okay, here we go, folks. Here we go. Check this out. Why'd you bring kids? I'm gonna cry. Just thankfully,
Trace, you drink in car?
okay, I think they've been given clearance to. Wow, see how strong those winds are, folks.
Lancaster, Hurricane and Spitfire.
So this is the original BBMF formation, as it's always been known. Lancaster, Hurricane, Spitfire. Okay, low pass possibly. Ah, this. Why is technology the way it is? Oh, don't go to voicemail, please. Spitfire on the right, Hurricane on the left. Is it really? This Lancaster's been in many different guises. City of Lincoln, originally out and back, I think. Thumper. That's a shame, isn't it? That's a shame, isn't it? Okay, so this is these guys are just hanging off for the time being while the Spit does his display in it. That's cool. We got you. We got you. Oh, look at that! What that must be like over in over at Woodall Spa and Scampton and places like that, just up the road. Look at that! Look at that! I mean, that is the shot. That's the shot right there. Okay, here comes the Hurricane. Much slower speed. These guys were called in to knock out the Heinkel HE111s and the other Dorniers that were during the Blitz. Obviously, they could. They were great in those conditions. Spitfires used mainly for the dogfights, for fending off the ME109s and the Focke-Wulfs. But these guys were proficient in fighting and shooting down the bombers. And now Arthur Harris's dream machine, Butcher Harris as he was called by some. Fast running, big tailwind behind him. Oh, look at this. Seven-man crew, rear gunner, mid-upper turret, bomb aimer, flight engineer, wireless operator, navigator and pilot. Always stayed as one crew throughout their 30 missions, if they ever made it that way. Not many did, to be honest. Oh, that's the Rolls-Royce Spitfire on its way then. Fancies coming in and having a bit of fun, does it? Okay. These things can fly a long, long way as well. Up to 9 hours in the air, folks. Because they're so slow, obviously. But, well, I say slow, but biggest payload of all the bombers. Obviously they had to convert the later Lancasters with the tall boy and the big earthquake bombs that Barnes-Wallis developed to knock out the German installations out on the French and the Dutch areas. This thing could carry a serious amount of ordnance. Flare sticks, incendiaries, cookies, 1,000-pound cookie. Bomb doors open. Now they're closed. Hold us steady for 30 seconds. Gracious aeroplane, gear down. People that made those undercarriage, folks, still making components for aeroplanes these days. If you remember when you were with us in Germany, we saw one of the, I think it was the either a C-17 or one of the modern day troop carrying aircraft. Props built by Doughty, and these undercarriage were manufactured by Doughty Okay, so he's going to do a gear down pass. Of course, all these dispersals behind me, where each aircraft, each squadron aircraft had its own team of mechanics. Oh, hello, 2 Spit. Oh, this is the Hurricane and the Spit, yeah. Working in all weathers. Come rain or shine or snow or whatever the conditions. Why not? That's a beautiful shot. Look at it. Over the Lincolnshire countryside. She's going to come and do a low pass straight into a headwind. Here we go. Of course, I haven't mentioned it, but I'm sure that most people know, a lot of people don't, but this is the aircraft that carried out the dams raids in May 43. A successful mission to an extent whereby it was put down as a success in the papers. More propaganda than anything else, to be honest with you. Lots of people saw it as a failed mission, but it certainly put the German manufacturing plants behind for quite some time, but lost far too many men. Barnes-Wallis never really, you know, recovered from the losses that they made during the dams raid. Half of the reason why was because they had to fly at treetop height over the enemy coastline, and as you can appreciate, cables and all sorts of from power lines and of course barrage balloons and all that kind of stuff that they had to circumnavigate their way around, but yeah, all in total darkness as well, so with very little training in terms of like what you would get nowadays. These guys were literally thrown in at the deep end. Oh, hello. This is a beautifully marked Hurricane coming out now. almost night fighter colour markings, isn't it? Okay, let's look at that. Why? Sorry, Zulu Yankee Victor. I mean, we did have night fighter squadrons, obviously. Mosquitoes mainly, I think, but pretty sure there was maybe a Hurricane. There's also, we'll have to have a look at that, follow that up. Nanabot night version, yeah. Very possible. Pop at TCB. Somebody coming up to me this morning, thanking us for gifted membership. I don't know if it was us. I know we gifted a load of memberships in Anchorage, and he said thank you to my membership from Anchorage. So, oh, there we go. Something coming in full speed. Go on, son. That is flat chat. Is this the Rolls-Royce, or is this the? Is this the one that was displaying just now with the other guys, or is this part of the BBMF, or is this the Rolls-Royce? Okay, so this is from East Midlands Airport, folks. This is part of the Rolls-Royce Heritage Collection. Spitfire Mark 14, I think. X. Well, X is 10. 21? Mark 21? I don't know. It's 19, is it? Okay. Oh, he's letting this one rip, isn't he? Yeah. Oh, it's the Griffin, that's why. That's why it sounds a lot different, because it's the Griffin engine. So none of the others were running the Griffin. You look at this on Google, folks, you'll see the two big bulges either side. Captain Sky Marshal. Yeah, you wouldn't want this up your backside, would you? Yeah, listen to that. Going over the top. So I'm guessing Rolls-Royce have their own display pilot then. Even Harry just knows how to chuck a Spitfire around the skies. God, I bet he couldn't sleep last night, could he? What are you doing tomorrow then? Throw a Spitfire around the skies. Was she? Right over the tops up there we go. Yeah. Victory roll. A lot of the squadron leaders back in the day were always used to get on their backs, the pilots, if they came in and did a victory roll. Didn't like it, but you know, if you're a young fighter pilot and you just downed a couple of ME-110s or whatever, 109s or FE-190s, FW-190s, you're gonna do a victory roll, aren't you, when you come back to base? Not exactly going to fire him, right? That's it. You're off flying for a couple of weeks. That's how you become an ace, mate. Can't do that. Showing his mates what he's done. Where's the lank gone? Oh, blimey. Really? Oh, okay. I'd find that very surprising because all those people are sitting over there waiting for him. Okay. Okay, so this guy's landing and going to taxi here. We might be able to see those all the way down here, all the way down here, please. There you go. Now you can see the. Mind you, that might be for the exhausts. No, you can. Hold on a minute. Let me just see. Yeah. That's for the exhaust. The exhaust shrouds, I think. Now you can see the bulge. See the bulge, yeah, above the exhaust outlet. See how much. Hello, what are all these people doing wandering across the road for now? There you go, you can see it now clearly. The Griffin engine. Still 12 cylinders, just beefed up to the max. The size of that spinner, man. Nice display, sir or madam.
Okay, well there we are.
Now, where is that Lancaster? Okay. Okay, so we're going to wait for the return of the Lancaster, folks, just in case she thinks. Yeah. Mowbray. Nice. HGC, I love that plane. Thank you, Rolls-Royce Bootle lad. Rab H. Yeah, Darren Emerton. Darren Emerton looks like a similar colour to what Navy Lynx and Sea King helicopters used to be, yeah. I like it. That's a Hurricane, isn't it? This is that night fighter Hurricane, I think. Or Interceptor, I think, is probably the best way to describe it, rather than a night fighter. It's an interceptor, isn't it? Yeah, almost tooled up a bit like a Typhoon, isn't it? Still 305s, I think, the guns, or were they 20mm cannon? I'm not sure. I think they were 305s. Okay, let's wait and see. Bring him round. Yes, fast as fuck. Rolls-Royce emblem has never changed, as has the same with the Pratt & Whitney General Electric, of course. But yeah, it's always when you're recovering an aircraft from a crash site, always want to try and find a Rolls-Royce engine plate that usually has the serial number and markings on the engine plate, so that you can quite easily identify it. It's always these, it's a sort of can't even find it in the day, crying out loud. There she is. Roger, roger. Proper old Warbird, that is. Nice. Steve gone? Steve! Oh, Steve, oh look. Hey! See that, Chilly? Good old Steve, oh. He needs a new shirt though, it's getting a bit greasy, that one. A few too many eggs on it. Darren Edmonton, awesome display from all the aircraft and pilots this afternoon. Hobby time. Night Fighter 4 Hispano Armed Hurricane. Okay, Mark 2C Night Fighter Hobby time. Thank you, Hobby time. 420mm cannons. Yes, there we go. I was right. David Edwards and Gary Brown at the same time saying that. Tula 262. Wish I was there watching these beauts. Well, Tula, hope you got the headset turned up or whatever it is you're watching it on, and you're getting the great sound of these engine. Rab H, yes, there is quite a crowd over there. Fear Love, I will never forget seeing a whole lineup Spitfires and Hurricanes starting up together, then taxiing out at Greenham Common back in the day. Yes, you can still see in the Legends, Flying Legends displays that they have here in the UK, where they have a huge lineup of Spitfires and Hurricanes. Captain Ron Lank over Leicester, Diane 78, Gary Brown, last Hurricane to be built, this Hurricane apparently. Wow, Andy P, you guys know so much, man. Puss in PJs, Shoot Dog, I wonder how much drag is on the rear wheel. Good question, that. Yeah, it probably does actually create quite a significant amount of drag. A big shout out to Captain Sky Marshall, by the way, for very kindly donating, gifting 20 memberships. Very kind of you, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Ken G, so do all the acts have to do the same aerial manoeuvres? Not really, but you know, within the confines of a certain airspace, with a, you know, there are limitations, I'm guessing, but the airspace around Lincolnshire, around Coningsby especially, will be dedicated for these guys. So other air traffic will be warned, of course. 420mm cannons in. Wow, yeah, because the early Hurricanes would have had the pop guns, wouldn't they, as they used to call them back in the war. Even the Lancasters didn't have 20mm cannons until the very last model of the Lancaster variant, should I say, that did have the 20mm cannon. Stephen Stibbins, Andy P, Ken O'Neill, Mikhail Webber, good day to you. Kevin Mottershaw, Vicky Denning, Wayne Dyer, Lancaster over Tamworth. Guessing she's going to be coming back. Mikey van der Aaron, good afternoon to you, tuning in from Holland. Good day to you, Mikey. Hopefully, Mikey, we're going to be back out there at some point in time to Schiphol. Hearing that things are still pretty bad in terms of getting people through the airports, but isn't it everywhere really? But I'm hearing that it's still especially bad at Schiphol. I'm guessing that's down at Sean Larkin, thank you very much indeed. So James Doyle, Helen Clapp, Mike Red, Lane Hewitt, welcome back Lane, 4 Striper, Gaz Grill, loving the show today, thank you Gaz, thank you everybody. Alexandra Wood, JF840, for the love of transport. Turning near Tamworth. Is that on a returning leg then, GP? Have to maybe do a little bit of googling about the night fighter squadrons, the RAF night fighter squadrons, because A lot of the time you would get the, you know, a random night bomber coming in from across the channel. These guys, I'm guessing, would have been based on the south coast of England, somewhere along there, possibly, to protect the bases from random attacks. Sorry about that. With a stick, we can drop this down. Fergus John, the position of the tail wheel at the end produces less drag as it is at the end of the airflow. Yes, indeed, and any turbulence is not disturbing the aerodynamics on the wing surface. Plus, it's small, tiny, and cute. Yes, there you go. Very well said and explained and very descriptive. Yes, indeed. The very last, almost the last part of the aircraft to receive any airflow, and of course it's already been through all the wing, over the wing, under the wing. Okay, so the Lancaster is out doing some displays, folks. Green Acres, that is one stunning aircraft. Mikael Weber, why do planes look so good in black? There is something sinister about them. Mikael, yes, indeed. Yeah, I think, to be honest with you, anything in sort of like satin black looks fantastic, doesn't it? Ken G, what a sight. 2 classic Warbirds, there we go. Three. Not sure about the Rachel Van Zella. Lank is currently doing a bit of a circle near Alrawas. Cheryl Kitchen. Martin Greenwood, do you have to have injections to come so far north? Bootleg Lancaster earning its keep today, yeah, indeed. A few of you who are unfamiliar with the station here at RAF Coningsby, home of one of 2 quick reaction alert squadrons. The other one based up in Scotland at Lossiemouth, operating 29 Squadron as well as other squadrons here. I think it is the 29 Squadron that are the QRA squadron. If I'm right in saying that, I may be wrong. Obviously, let me know. But this is where we come on usually on a weekday. Of course, it will be a weekday because they only operate on weekdays. Of course, they are on constant alert here at RAF Coningsby, and this is where they normally park up the jets. But of course, additional to that, the QRA station or QRA bunker, whatever you want to call it, is based over there. I think 3 Squadron maybe also. Is it 3 Squadron maybe that are the QRA squadron? I don't know. But all these are HAS shelters, hard. The specially built to withstand explosions, really, the blast, so that they would travel over and around rather than straight into the side of a standard sort of like square shelter. Yeah, that's where we normally see all the jets coming out from. Sometimes they're going out from this end, sometimes the other end, as we've seen today. And there's a nice little sight for a few people. The Lightning that was saved literally at the last moment before she was about to be scrapped. What's that, Chief? Stephen Stibbins, yes, been to East Kirkby down the road to see the Lancaster. Yes, indeed. Just Jane, seen it many times, and lucky enough to be on board that aircraft, and we've actually done a live engine start at East Kirkby with the Lancaster there, a live museum. Oh, is it? And as a member, you can go and see that June 2019 Lancaster. What's the title, GP? NX Lancaster NX 611. Just Jane, live from the Lincolnshire Aviation Heritage Centre, which is a live museum. Of course, they do still. Planning to have that aircraft in the air at some point in time, but you know, that's been dragging on for many years now. The latest, last time I was there, which was actually not that long ago, the latest update is that the aft section, forward of the tail, but around about I think it's around about where the door is as well, is being completely rebuilt, completely refabricated in the hangar at just down the road at East Kirkby. Great place to visit, folks, if you ever get a chance. The airfield itself is obviously grass strip, so quite what they'll do when they do get her airworthy, if it ever happens, hopefully it will. Do they have a long enough runway? Because I think since the war, since East Kirkby was reclaimed, so to speak, by the local farmers and so on and so forth, I think hedgerows have obviously been installed. So I think that they may have to extend the grass strip somewhere along there. But it is interesting, isn't it? You know, they'd have to make sure that that strip is absolutely dead level. But yeah, it's a fascinating place. They also do. They have a mosquito there as well, which they've not long completed restoration. That does live taxi runs as well, and they have shows there. They have air displays there, all kinds of things going on there, and it's definitely worth a visit if you ever get the chance to nip down to East Kirkby, which is literally just down the road from here. Of course, lots of airfields dotted around the Lincolnshire area. Bomber County, literally. Metheringham, just up the road. Scampton, RAF Waddington, of course. Woodall Spa, which is where the 617 Squadron were created, so to speak. Here at Coningsby, also, what's that, GP? My one does it? Oh, hold on a minute, I think that's because, can you hear me? No, you can't. That's because, can you hear me now? Oh, hobby time, they're going to put a new extended grass strip in at East Kirkby for the Lancaster. Thank you, hobby time. Great feedback there. That's good to know. They're going to put an extended grass strip in at East Kirkby. Fantastic. Sherry Hellier, thank you very much indeed. Lancaster heading back, but might do a few passes over Truck Fest at Newark Showground. Yeah, she was on EMA ATC. Right, there we go. Bob M, thank you very much for the broadcast. You've been a godsend whilst I've been in COVID self-isolation. Swift recovery to you, Bob. Hope you're well, my friend. By the way, folks, just a little bit of an update. I've got something very exciting to bring you. News on a show that I've been talking about this show at Airbus in Broughton for quite some time. Almost a couple of years now, isn't it? Spoke with Aaron yesterday, and we are going to be in November. The plan is that we're going to be doing a show from Broughton featuring the Beluga and the whole loading procedure with a set of wings, A350 wings or 320 wings or 321 wings, whichever they might be. But we're going to do a whole show from Broughton. And also a big shout out to Emily as well. We are continuing on with our Rolls-Royce show as well. That's something that's in the workings, it's in the pipeline. But a big shout out to Bill, who had some very unfortunate health issues. He's recovering, and we wish you a swift recovery as well, Bill, from Rolls-Royce. So yeah, lots of stuff coming up in the future, folks. Cheryl Kitchen. Lost Souls Exploring. Susan, thanks for the coverage. We popped down earlier as the Lancaster first flew over. Wow, it was great, wasn't it, Susan? Andy P. Yeah, lots of people. Broughton. People. One person on the left tells me it's Broughton, and the other one tells me it's Broughton. It's like, you know, Airbus in Wales. How about that? Bill M, Jeanette Haynes. Lots of people mentioning about the Beluga, and of course it will feature the Beluga XL as well. We'll be going inside the aircraft, inside the cargo area, so to speak, but also importantly, we'll be going inside the flight deck and speaking with the pilots and discussing the How many people can guess that's a Vespa? Ding, 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 ding. Kerry Davies, thank you. Brutal lad, love seeing the beluga fly over Chester Way. Dave Morgan there, proper name is Howarden, isn't it? Is it Howarden? Howarden, for God's sake. Andy Williams, definitely Broughton. Okay, I'll call it Broughton from now on. Okay. 17th Mustang. Earlier you were talking about the tail wheels. I remember reading somewhere retracting it gave them at least an extra 5 miles an hour. Well, there you go. The Mustang has a retracting rear tail wheel, doesn't it? But interesting, we were discussing earlier that the tail wheel on the Lancaster has been modified under FAA regulation. Well, the FAA insisted in order to grant it its continued airworthiness certificate. Obviously, the linkage that you see, the linkage arm, which is the kind of thing that you see on the back of a motorcycle, is the best way to describe it, which is a very familiar, giving that tilted back look of it on the tail wheel of the Lancaster. But you'll see when she taxis in, you'll see the chrome. I think from memory, the tail wheel. Did the tail wheel of the Lancaster have any travel in it? I'm trying to remember that now. Or was it a link? Was it just a solid upright with a linkage suspension in the linkage? I don't know, but you'll clearly see what I'm talking about. Oh, let's get another cup of tea from Steve. Hold on a minute. John, Steve, and Harry. By the time I get up here. Flo, Margaret, Bob. No. Yeah. And that's Richard down there, who we're going to be speaking to at some point in time. Thank you to Steve for his usual antics. And what was it? Margaret? Right, Margaret, Mary and Billy in Dalgety Bay. All the very best to you guys. It's been great having your company. So we just wait for the lag to come back. Where's the lag, folks? Where's the lag? Oh, okay. So she's nearby then. Okay. We should see her soon. And then, yeah. Rab H cycled through Dalgety Bay on Thursday. There we go. It's always someone who's been somewhere, isn't it? Lancaster, not far away from Newark, JF 840. Debbie Speller. Melody, black coffee, please. Oh, Boo lad, yeah, he loved it. He's got a new van coming because he smashed his car up, didn't he? So he's got. Well, that's not the reason, but there is a all-new burger van arriving at Coningsby quite soon, folks. So we'll look out for that. And a big shout out to Dave. I don't know if they're watching. Let's see if they hear. But a couple of lovely fellas in that vehicle over there, Dave and Darren. Who were very friendly last night, and thank you very much to them. And that fella, and of course there was Papa Bear, who drives that one over there. He's a nice fella who I spoke to last night. Fella over there laid out on his back, looks like he's had a few too many. He's a lovely fella. There's another geezer over there. Lovely people. I've got to be honest with you, absolutely lovely people. This little fella down here, give us a wave, son. Good lad, he came over earlier. Lots of lovely people here, man. Just lovely people. Now, I'm wondering whether they might be. Have they? Oh, I think they've actually gone down there, haven't they? Daryl and Dave. But yeah, just so nice. I'm overwhelmed. I've got to be honest with you, man. I mean, Chile is half of it because sometimes, I'm at petrol stations or whatever, and people come up to me, and it's just lovely, man. People are so nice, aren't they? We are so fortunate to have such a wonderful community of people who all get on together, and there's the odd weirdo here and there, but we can. Ignore them, but really, just such lovely people. Mrs. H has just flown over her house. Tell you what, some rain over that way, mate. Some rain over that way, isn't there? That's a fair amount of rain over there, over the Boston area. I'm thinking, is that Boston out that way? It looks pretty gnarly. Stuart Watson, that's not Tom Cruise's Mustang, is it? No, it's not. Gary Goodchild, I was lucky enough to see Hurricane LF's 363 and Spitfire P7 350 a few weeks ago at Solent Airport. They departed together for the Bournemouth Air Festival. Wow, just to see and hear that is just is an incredible sound, man. And that's why, that's why I've driven all the way up here, folks. It's just because I want to share it with you. So many of you, somebody mentioning earlier on, military wasn't originally my thing, but now I've definitely, seen it in another light. So that's fantastic. Suzanne C, aeroplane people are special people. I think it's a good way of summing it up, actually, to be honest with you. Rachel Vazella, Lank was on ADS-B exchange, but it's just disappeared. Apparently that Lank was second tracked on Flight Radar 24. Oh, she's still number 2 globally, folks. Isn't that crazy? But that's brilliant. Always found aviation fans to be nice people, Bootle lad. Yeah, it's brilliant, man. JF840 Lancaster is near Lincoln now. Diesel 1.3. Everyone is so friendly and knows everyone. Jill Blakeney, just a glimpse of the Lank with my bins. Captain Ron. Is it? Oh, it's because I've got the. Sorry. Right. Let me put that in there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Oh, okay, it's good. It's because I've got the AirPod in my pocket and I was fiddling about with it with my finger, and of course I'm touching it, so it's disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting. Jez White, northwest of you, Jerry. So you would have heard it all going. Bill lad always loved military stuff. Ludmilla, good afternoon to you. Jeanette Haynes, JF Bryson, does a 3C5 ever come to the UK anymore? Yes, JF Bryson. In fact, the first time we went to Lakenheath, first ever visit to Lakenheath, there was a C5 Galaxy there. And if you look back at it, you'll see that it was an incredible departure, because he was powered up on the brakes and then literally pulled the handbrake off, and then bosh, off he went. It was an incredible departure. Yeah, just waiting for this, for the Lank. What, to my no, still not seeing her. Oh, it'd be great. Okay. Blimey. Must be behind a tree or something. Mick G, 2 to 3 minutes away, saying it's going to be over the. Sandy Humvee, the Lancaster is near you at 8,800 feet, Jerry. Oh, thanks, man. Should have. 800 feet. Yeah, I think that's a little bit high, Sandy. That's bombing altitude, that is. Deborah Mallinson. Thank you, Deborah. Very close now, Rab. So. Yeah, funny you should say a Frankfurt show. We're going to Frankfurt next weekend, folks. We're going to be in Frankfurt on Sunday next week. All members, of course, we will have 2 hours of Freeview, as we have now all agreed on. Just 2 hours this time as well. It's going to be a strict 2 hours, folks. Oh, I can hear it. I can hear it. Or can I? It's crazy when you've been to an air show. Oh, this is good. This is treetop height, isn't it? It'd be great if she appeared over the parapet. Oh, here she comes. Here we go. Yeah. Got her. Gear down. Looks like she's been limping. One engine out. Night Fighter's taken out one of her rudders. I think they did experiment with a belly turret on the Lancaster at one point, very, very early on. Maybe because obviously the earlier variant of this was the Manchester, which was a complete and utter failure. Oh, hold on a minute, we've got battery issue. We've got battery issue. Wait. Whoa. Okay, I've got 99 on that. No. Wait, stand by. Should have enough on that. Okay, well, sorry folks, sorry. Oh. Batteries, you gotta love them, haven't you? Okay, I'm on the monitor.
Yeah.
No. So obviously no reversers, no spoilers. She's got flaps and air brakes, believe it or not, folks. When you hear these things taxi, they as the brakes are applied. Okay, come on. Taxi her all the way up here, please. I don't think there is a pitch. I mean, there is a variable pitch. These are variable pitch control props that the pilot will, and engineer, should I say, will select the pitch for the particular conditions. But I don't know. I don't think there is a reverse. No, there wouldn't be a reverse. A pitch, blade pitch. Shannon, is this comparable to a B-17? Yeah. It's a bomber. It's a 4-engine bomber, basically. This is a British variant, and the B-17 was American. B-17 could only carry half the amount of bomb load as a Lancaster could. That's why they had so many of the B-17s. Okay, here we go. Let's see if we can listen into these. Which squadron this is? I think it is a Kangaroo. That will be a RAAF squadron then, Royal Australian Air Force. And see the See the bomb tally there on the nose art there. That signifies the white ones are Italian for the ice cream. Okay, ARL. AR is 460 Squadron. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. What's AR? Just Google it. Just look. AR. Oh, does it? Oh, so sometimes that's what they do. Sometimes they have different markings, don't they, on one side to the other. But I'm pretty sure that AR. World War II. Yeah. It is 460 Squadron. Oh my goodness me! It is Royal Australian Air Force, and my mate Dave flew as a rear gunner with 460 Squadron. And interestingly enough, and very few people know this, but the 460 Squadron were the only squadron to be fitted with the AGLT, the automatic gun laying turret, which was a form of early warning warfare. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, no way. So, daughter of wartime 460 Squadron Arctics, Vic Watts, visits BBMF. Wow, that is fantastic, isn't it? These two guys are, looks like they're ready. Kangaroo playing bagpipes, yeah. Okay, right, I've got you. So the daughter of the guy who painted that nose art, as it was known, nose art back in those days, folks, and that's where it's sort of like originated from. Incredible, incredible, man, incredible. Isn't that? Wow, how cool is that? Because I've got the replica that I built of the Lancaster, the Tamiya Lancaster, and I painted it in the 460 Squadron colours, and it was O for orange. Of course, back in those days, didn't really use the now familiar alphabet that we use for aviation, Alpha Bravo Charlie and all that sort of thing. It was more like A for Apple, and his aircraft was O for Orange. Actually, no, it wasn't O for Orange, it was O for Oboe, I think it was. Of course, there was a one of the size of the prop on that thing, man. Looks like we might have another display on our hands, folks. You fancy a little bit of Spitfire and Hurricane action? Oh wow, that's crazy. That is Bob Paul Howard say he did over 30 sorties. I mean, you know, you were lucky if you made 5. Let's face it. It depended on you know the squadron that you were flying with as well, because some of them were just concentrated mainly on the north of France, whereas so many of them went deep into the heart of Germany. And at that point in time, of course, that moment in time, the early on in the war, the flak positions, the flak guns, you had to deal with the flak guns. Then you had to deal with the fighters. Then you had to deal with also the ME-110s with the upward firing guns, the upward firing cannons, Schrag music as it was called. And then of course on your run into the target, you had to hold it steady for, you know, probably around about 30 seconds, and then, if not longer, on the run into the target. And then of course your after you'd dropped your bombs, you had to wait another 30 seconds, hold it straight and level before the flash went off. So very, very frightening times. And of course, I read many stories of rear gunners who during those 30 operations never saw one piece of action. Dave, my mate, who was a rear gunner with 460, he saw one piece of action where he had a night fighter. He could see him, he knew he was there, he fired off a burst, and that was enough to get, you know, to frighten him off. Some incredible stories. Oh, okay, Lane Hewitt. It's called NATO Frenetic. I'm guessing that's what he's talking about. Is the alphabet that we use. Alpha Bravo Charlie. Thank you, Lane. Margot Gold. Gonna watch the rest on rewind. Yeah, sit back, relax, and watch this amazing show. I got you, Lane. Don't worry about it. Phonetic, still pronounced the same, but spelt differently. Thank you, sir. Kevin Mottershaw, yes, indeed. Okay, Hurricane going up first. I'm not sure if these guys are displaying. I'd imagine they are. They're BBMF aircraft, aren't they? I realised they were doing 2 displays. D-Day markings on this one. Of course, if you missed it, we had the Spitfire and a Hurricane earlier on with the Lancaster. Make sure you rewind and have a look at that. Okay, I'm going to swing it back. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to wait and see if I can. Cold quick. Oh, Tim Rotunda. It's Tim Rotunda. Tim Lewis, I met a Lancaster pilot who had 6 rear gunners during the service. Not a safe seat, no. Well, obviously it was the, you know, it was the first point of contact really for the night fighters, or for, yeah, for, well, I mean, obviously the Americans having to so TRTGP. Straight over the visitor centre, I think. Dogfight. Did have an ME109 once, didn't they? They used to display a fake one. Oh, that's a proper dogfight, that is, isn't it? south coast of England during the Battle of Britain, mate, watching all this going on. He's got him! Chinese smoke! Well done, Red Leader, well done. We got the Hun. Okay, on to the next one, Red Leader. Brilliant, man, brilliant. What's this rattling around in the front here? Come on, son, what's going on here? Something flipping, pinging and popping and... Yeah, I know, don't, because it's very, very annoying, mate. It's very, very annoying. Yeah, no, I know. It's just the little plastic poppers. The little plastic poppers on this bleeding thing. They hit.
Yeah, Jerry, I'm going, mate.
You taking? Oh, you off, mate?
Yeah.
Steve, thanks, mate. See you next time, yeah.
See you later, good, yeah.
Next time, yeah. See you soon. And now the victorious leader returns to base, having disposed of the Hun, lives to fight another day. People are slowly starting to move. See you, Steve!
Yeah, he's coming back round the
Yeah, people really enjoying it, man. That's great. I don't know if that is it. Blimey, there's going to be some traffic on the way home in there. Hey! Real. Steve-o. From Skeggy. That's amazing. I'd love to know why they painted her in the 460 colours. I guess they just randomly go between, you know, for different seasons. They go for different squadron markings. She's... Get a wave, Sam. Come on, look left, look left. Go on, look left. Look left. No, don't bother then. Yes, well done. Well done, Red Leader. Supporting our boys on the beaches. What an armada that was. Caught the Schwarzers right off guard, didn't we? Still lost a lot of men, a lot of good men. Yeah, I think that's it. People are starting to move away now. And now people are starting to move away from the area. Oh. Well, all I can say is thank God it's not a weekday, is it? I'd be absolutely shot to pieces if it was a weekday, wouldn't it? All traffic all the way home. See those exhaust stubs on the Merlin engine, on the whatever, all different types of exhaust stubs, but the material used, of course, they didn't have titanium back then, but this is must have been a very early form of heat-resistant material. The Halifax bomber that I dug up, I found one of the I recovered one of the exhaust stubs off one of the Merlin engines. Unbelievably heavy, just one stub. Interestingly enough, that this particular aircraft was running those Spitfire style stubs, not the saxophone style exhaust that many early Halifaxes did. And then of course they moved to the radial engine with the Mark III, but the double X Merlin engine that powered the Halifaxes, and some of the earlier Lancasters as well, running the exhaust stubs. And then of course, in order to try and hide the flames that were literally, or the hot exhaust, should I say, when those aircraft were flying, the heat, the all exhaust would glow literally, and that's how a lot of the night fighters found them in the night sky. But they covered them up initially using asbestos, massively heavy asbestos exhaust covers. Then they moved to all different types of. Not so much a case with the fighters because they were so fast that it was more a case with the bombers because they were so slow that they were easy pickings. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you to everybody. I don't know if you can hear me. Oh, Bennett. Can you hear me, GP? Check. Yeah, thank you firstly to everybody who turned up today. Again, big thank you to Andy and Dave and Darren, and of course the big fella over there. Give him a wave, see if he's here. Hello mate, did you enjoy it? Yeah. Okay, someone else waving at me. But anyway, yes, to everybody who's come up and said hello today. Luckily I brought enough stickers with me today, but thank you very much indeed. Big shout out to Richard who's here. I'm going to be having a quick chat with him before I leave. We will discuss Richard's connection with the BBMF and with the Bear, which some people are familiar with. You may have seen the Bear that has flown many times on the Lancaster bomber and has even been up in the Typhoon as well. There's a story behind it, one which I want to make you aware of, because it is something that has affected many people who perhaps watch Big Jet TV, but other people as well, and we want to bring that forward and let people know about that, because it's a very important thing that can affect people. So we will be talking about that in a future show. Thank you everybody again, folks. So many of you coming in and saying thank you so much. It was a fabulous show, Thank you to the BBMF, of course, for putting on that show. 29 Squadron as well for putting on one of their foons for the display. That was awesome as well. We got a fantastic. We're going to struggle to get the thumbnails for today, to be honest with you folks, because we've got some spectacular shots today. I saw them, I saw at least 20 of them, so God knows how we're going to do that. Yes, a big thank you to them. Thank you to RAF Coningsby. Thank you to the local police as well, who've been keeping everybody moving as well. Thank you to everybody who've behaved themselves. Again, great community of people, folks, who've really looked after each other as well. Thank you to the farmer for opening the gate as well. I've got to say a big shout out to him as well, because had he not done that, we would have been in a right old pickle, because there's far too many vehicles. But that's it folks, I've got a 4-hour drive in front of me now. Thank you to everybody once again. We will be back on Wednesday of next week. You know, but always stand by your phones folks, and make sure you keep an eye out on your notifications, both on the app and also on YouTube as well, just in case something happens. And also we'll have more of an update for you on the Airbus feature that we're going to do at Broughton. I got it right at the time, with the Beluga XL and the wing loading whole sequence that we're going to do there. That's going to be absolutely fantastic. The folks at Broughton, really looking forward to that as well. Yeah, apart from that, we will be back doing what we do and what we love next Wednesday, folks. Thank you very much indeed. Stay safe, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Whatever you do it responsibly, and give a little love to somebody. If you've got an elderly neighbour or someone like that, knock on the door, make sure they're doing all right, and see how they're doing, because there's a lot of lonely people out there, folks, and we all need to be loved. So look after yourselves, and we will see you next time. Cheers. Okay, GP.